What is up, guys? What's up? How's everybody doing today? Let's see here. Just getting everything set up. Let me remove this stuff right here. Definitely don't want to remove indicators, but we'll remove this. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome. All right, so we're just starting up. Gonna see what exactly is going on today with the market. Not only the market, what's going on with our beloved Milady, right? What's going on? So let's find out. So before we start off, guys, make sure you guys hit the like on the stream. We need to bring everybody in here, right? We need everybody in here today. This is gonna be a serious talk. Serious talk today on what's going on with Milady, right? So let's see exactly what we have in store. So first off, obviously looking at Milady, right? It's been down, right? We've been just creating red candles. We really have. The entire market right now, is still not doing, the best, right? We're still sitting above 42,000 as far as Bitcoin, but a lot of meme coins that have been pumping recently are all kind of looking the same right now. They're all kind of just moving down, and we're gonna get into what I think is going on and what exactly is going on with some of the other meme coins that I've run across, that some of them actually are pumping right now, and what my theory is on what I think is going on with some of the meme coins that have been getting so much, movement in the last few weeks. What exactly is going on? So I welcome you guys today. Today's Tuesday, the 19th of December evening. I hope everybody's doing all right. Let me check up on the chat real quick. So Vin, how are you doing? Eduardo, what's up, brother, man? Real, I see you, brother. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Is it Vakilovius? I think I said this properly, but hello, how are you doing, brother? I appreciate you guys coming in. Let's see here. So Vin beat Eduardo. I think that's 2 days in a row. Eduardo's been late to the stream, so I'm not gonna hold it against him. He's always using an early bird, so you can't be first all the time, right? And let's see here. AVK with the good evening, everything. Good evening, everything. What goes up goes down, and what goes down will go up. So no worry, I think we're just in a huddle. I appreciate those kind words, and yeah, we're gonna get into exactly what I think's going on right here. Now let's see here. Vin said he was just playing, but at the same time, you were being correct, right? Vin, you actually beat Eduardo today, and he's usually, that pop-up comes up and he's in here, right? He's in here fast, so I appreciate it. And that leads me to make sure you guys, if you're not already, I know I always see the statistics, and most of the people are, they're already subscribed. But if you're not, if you're in here right now, hit that subscribe so you can get those instant alerts whenever we do post videos. I would greatly appreciate that. Eduardo, congrats on the 1K. Hey, brother, I appreciate it. Like I said earlier, this couldn't happen without you guys, right? I really do appreciate you guys. We've definitely built up the channel, and we're gonna continue to grow. And like I said, we're gonna have some give backs, and then maybe in the next couple months, where I definitely want to pick some selective people. We'll have some kind of a drawing or something where I want to give back to a big handful of people, especially the people that have been here for from the early days, right? Because I do appreciate everything you guys have done, not just for myself but for the channel. So now let's get into this. So Milady. So we're currently sitting at around the 92 mark. We tried holding on to, you can see as we move down, we did try to hold this 10-4. First was the 11, right? The 11 was really trying to hold. It really looked like it wanted to bounce, but eventually it broke, right? Next support level was the 10-4. It looks like it didn't hold, right? It just flew down, but it actually did hold at the 10-4 for very brief, and this candle basically just broke through. Obviously, we had the 9-9, and I was watching this very, very closely today as we did get to it. And same thing. wanted to hold, but it just could not hold the momentum. It couldn't stop the sellers, and they continued to basically sell off and create a red candle. Milady right now, market cap sitting at 68 million. So we have gone down considerably as far as market cap. If you do look at the high, the market cap, I believe it'll give us, let's see here. So it doesn't give me the actual market cap, but I do believe as far as market cap, we were somewhere around 110, maybe around $120 million. So we've gone down a considerable amount as far as being at that top of the market cap whenever we did hit this local high. Right now, the volume is still relatively down at around $11 million. So, that's something that's been happening for the last few days where we've just had very low volume, and it's been mostly towards the downside. Checking the exchanges like we normally do, and Gate.io is number one. From what I'm hearing is Gate.io, not only are the people on that are using this exchange are obviously buying or selling, but I'm hearing that the platform itself has been collecting a lot of Milady. So we'll see if that's true. If that is, that's a very bullish sign. Obviously, we have Bybit and KuCoin are also the top other three sitting on here, and you can see Crypto.com's not even in the top 10. Not even in the top 10, meaning that no one's either buying or selling off of Crypto.com. So that could either be good or that could be bad. Now looking at today's whale holdings. Remember yesterday we were looking at the whale holdings for Milady particularly, and we were somewhere around 611 trillion. If you guys can see, zoom in, whale holdings as of the 16th, which is delayed information technically, right? But this has gone up to not from 611 trillion up to a 633 trillion. So they're still collecting, they're still adding to their bags, or more whales are still coming in to the Milady space, and they're still holding on. You can see they're definitely holding on. They're not selling off the whales. I think a lot of people that are selling off are going to be your retail investors, because you can see as we'll go back a little bit, right? Let's go back to the 4th. Retail investors, you can see down on the bottom, it's the brown. Retail investors were holding 104 trillion. As we move, retailer investors go to 101, 99, 98. You can see they kind of moved up briefly to 100. Now, as of the 16th, they're down to 96 trillion, holding some of the lowest that they've been holding for the last week, the retail investors. So what that's telling me, just looking at this chart, is that the whales are buying in. Retail investors are obviously getting spooked, and they're selling off. And I think that's what we're seeing here, is that we're seeing retail investors selling off. They were obviously buying in when we were moving up, and now they're starting to sell off, which is perfectly fine. Sorry about that. I had to let my dog out. All right. I tell her I'm going live. You gotta situate yourself. But she's like, right when I go live, she wakes up and now she wants to go outside. So I had to let her out. All right. So let's see here. So hello everybody that's in right now. I'm just catching up on the chat. Sean, Interstellar, Frank, Michael. What's up, guys? Welcome. Glad you guys came in. If you guys haven't already, hit that like. We need to bring some people into this live today, right now. Obviously, we see a lot of people watching after the fact, which is perfectly fine. I know a lot of people are busy, so that's perfectly fine. So one thing that I am looking at when I'm looking at the charts right now, so where we're at the 93 mark, right? We just talked about how whales are accumulating more. They're not buying it in like mass groves, but they are adding to their bags, or we're having more whales coming into the space, right? Retailers are obviously selling off, and investors like ourselves are just holding, right? We're holding. If anything, I'm sure a lot of us are adding to our bags as we start moving down, dollar cost averaging in, right? Now, where I see where we're at right now is you can see this is a pivotal spot. I'm surprised I do not have it marked. Where we are exactly right now, you can see that we bounce multiple times on our way up, right? Now that we are kind of having downward movement, we are stopped right here, obviously looking for some spot for some support. Basically, what's going to happen with Milady is there's going to be a spot eventually Hopefully it's this spot, but there's going to be a spot eventually that we're going to get to where it's going to bounce, right? It could be here. It could be another 10 or 15%. We do not know. All I can say is if we go down, let's say we drop down to some of these other levels, like right here, this 8, I have this 8-1, basically this 8-8 marked. You can see based off of other spots that we were hitting as some support. If we drop down to some of those levels, that's when you're going to see someone like myself adding to my bag, buying more, right? And I'm sure a lot of people are doing the same thing. They're going to be buying more because we're the actual long-term investors. Like we were saying earlier, you know, we have the retail gets spooked. They're in and out. They're usually in and out. That's what's going to happen. And I want to bring up a couple other things real quick as far as some of the other meme coins that were kind of pumping at the same time that Milady was. And we'll see if this is just a coincidence, like if this is just a one-off thing with Milady, or if this is something that's happening across the board. So you can see Bunk. We've been talking about Bunk, right, for a while. Bunk's been kind of going on a massive run as well. Made a new local, or this might be an all-time high, and since then it's really been just retracing, right? It's been basically going down, trying to find support, and it keeps kind of, you know, bouncing back down. It looks like it's starting to form some support right here at the 19 mark, and hopefully Milady's kind of going to be doing the same thing, but Milady's looks a little bit more steeper as far as it moving down. So, but I bring up Bunk because Bunk was moving up just as fast as Milady, and you can see it's almost the same timing where it's dropped down. So I wanted to bring up another meme coin, and this meme coin is hilarious. It's hilarious. A good marketing scheme, I will say. Can you guys think of what's the funniest meme coin that's been pumping in the last week that I'm going to come up with or that I'm going to show? And it is hilarious, but it's been doing really well as of earlier. I haven't checked recently, but let's see. Have you guys seen this meme coin? Oh man, the cock anu. Have you guys seen this meme coin? This has been pumping recently in the last few days, and we'll pull up the charts. You guys can see. This thing is like, I mean, if you want to come up with some jokes, this thing is like the one meme coin that's hilarious right here. Oh man, this is funny. Let's see here. So, and I bring this up. I bring up this meme coin because what I think's going on. I take a sip of my beer. Yes, I am drinking a beer tonight because I'm not stressed out, but it's just one of those nights where you're just like, have a beer, just relax, right? Everything's gonna be fine. And I don't encourage you guys to go out and drink or anything like that, but whatever helps you relax, right? Because everything is gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be good. Now, if you look at this particular meme coin, right? This thing has been rallying, right? It doesn't look like anything on most of the charts. Doesn't look like anything on most of the charts. And there's a handful of other meme coins that are basically doing almost the same thing. And what I think's happening is retail is jumping out of the projects that were pumping last week, and now they're moving it into projects that are moving this week. I think that's what's going on, because you have, like I said, we looked at Bunk. We're looking at Milady, and they're both looking pretty much the same. They're both looking like they made this local high, and now they've been on a downward movement for the last like 5 days. Well, you have this project, and I'm going to bring up some other ones, but you have this project particularly that's been doing the complete opposite. For the last 5 days, it's been moving up. It's been making new highs. And I think what's happening is you have these retail investors that came in to places like Milady. They jumped on Bunk. They jumped on some of these other altcoins that have been rallying, and they basically jumped in, and now they're jumping ship because the projects are starting to have cool-offs, and they're moving their monies over to other meme coins. There's other meme coins right now that are getting the shine right now, and they're moving up. So I bring all this up because it might seem like you're like, oh man, are we heading back down to where we were? And I honestly, if you really ask me, I'm telling the God honest truth, my opinion, I don't think that we're heading back down to any of the numbers that we were sitting at before this pump, right? But we are either gonna find a spot where we're at right now, or we're gonna move down a little bit more. There's going to be probably a little bit more pain in this chart. But that's fine. That's fine because we're going to need to get to a certain spot. We haven't, I don't think, got to the spot yet. Hopefully we did. But we haven't got to the spot yet where the sellers are going to be overwhelmed and the buyers are going to take over. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, right? It's buying and selling. Buying and selling. When charts are moving up, the sellers are in charge. When the charts are moving down, the buyers are in charge, right? So that's what's going on. We're going to have to find a spot. If it's not where we're at right now, it's going to be one of these other spots. And I think I don't see us dropping all the way down to like the 60. Could easily happen, right? If that does happen, I honestly just look at it as an opportunity. I look at it as an opportunity to where myself, I can buy a really big bag, at a fraction of the price. If it doesn't, maybe hopefully we come down, maybe we bounce at this 80, 81 mark that we have. That's another spot of some support. Same thing. I'm looking at it as an opportunity because I'm going to be adding to my bag because we really haven't even touched the surface. We're all screaming that we're in a bull market, which I think we're at the beginning of a bull market, but this is what happens. This is what happens. Things start rallying, but then they eventually have little cool off periods. In the bull market, we can go up and down the charts and we can look and you'll see if you zoom out, you're looking back 2 years ago, it just looks like it just moved straight up. But if you really zoom in on those charts, this thing it's swing trading. It's swinging, right? It's going up. It's dropping down, but it's not coming all the way down. It's going up. It's dropping down maybe 10 or 15%. Then it just jumps right back up 25, 30%. Has these crazy days where it will jump up 50%. And then you'll have cool off periods where it's down, another 15, 20%. It's just part of the market. Things will not go straight up. They might move up and everything is euphoria as you're moving up. But eventually we're going to hit a spot where the sellers are going to take over and we're going to have some of a cool off period, right? So I hope that gives you guys some hopium as far as what I think is going on right now. If there's a couple other meme coins, if you guys want to check them out, let me know if you guys know of any other meme coins that are pumping. We definitely can look them up. We can look them up on Coin Market Cap. Again, so if you guys are just coming in, make sure you guys hit that like. We were checking out, obviously, Milady. Milady is going to be the main staple, but we're going to look at other things tonight. But the market cap for Milady is under 70 million. Unfortunately, we're sitting at around 68 million. The volume around $11 million. It is moving down, but it's starting to subside. Remember yesterday the volume was down 10. The day before the volume was down 15%. So we're starting to get towards we're gonna basically level out here. I think soon, right? And again, what we were talking about is as far as whale holdings. Whale holdings has gone up in the last few days. We've been steadily moving up as far as what whales are holding right now. As of the 17th, they are holding 633 trillion coins compared to just maybe a few days ago. If you looked, it was 600 trillion. So it's gone up over 33 trillion coins. Whales are starting to actually accumulate instead of sell off. The more the sell off is what we're seeing is the retail sellers. That's what you're going to see as far as more of the sellers. So let's check out the chat. Troy, what's up, man? So a lot more exciting on the other direction, right? That's how it works, man. But you know what? You got to take the good with the bad, right? You got to take the good with the bad, and you got to know what we're here to do, what we're here for, right? And we're here for the long run. We're not here. We weren't looking for this little pump and then we're all going to sell off. We're looking for this big move. You'll know when we're in a full-blown bull market. Like I said, when Bitcoin starts getting back up past that 50, 60,000 mark and it starts getting up towards those all-time highs, that's when you basically know that we're not just getting into a bull market at that time. We're in a full-blown bull market, and that's when you're going to need to start deciding, what you're going to be doing as far as your projects, particularly like Milady, where we're sitting at the time, and if you're wanting to sell and stuff like that. I've been telling you guys this for a while. I've been telling you this, and you do not want to be married to your projects, right? We love Milady, but at the end of the day, you have to understand, you have to remember. So I know you understand, but you have to remember we're all here for profits, right? We're all here to make money, move it into other projects. So don't be married to these projects. If you're up, and it's a comfortable percentage as far as what you're up, then you need to make the right decision as far as what you're going to do with your investment. So let's see here. Can you look at CRPT when you have a sec? What's crazy, Mike, is I've been looking at that because the market cap's so little. We'll definitely take a look at that. I think I have a chart already mapped out for that, but let's see. Hold on. And while I'm doing this, everybody, welcome to the channel. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe. So this is the 200-day. This chart just looks a little weird to me, but so it is sitting. It's had a nice move, right? It definitely has had a nice move. Not explosive like some of these other projects that we've seen, but in the last few days or maybe in the last week, it's been up, 30%. One thing that I do see is it is testing its 200-day moving average. So you want to sit there. I would be very cautious as far as getting the confirmation of the bounce off the 200-day. So you can see we might have gotten the confirmation off this 200-day moving average. You can see it's forming, or it did form two green candles above the 200-day, looking like it wants to bounce. But I'm just a little cautious because it's literally right over the 200-day. Like you're like 1 or 2% above it. This thing could easily slide right under and start looking very bearish. So I would wait for a confirmation as far as if I'm thinking this is bullish. You can see we've been over the 200-day a couple times, and we've actually swung under it a few times too. So I would be on the fence as far as, if I was looking to buy in right now, because you might get some opportunities to probably get a little bit better pricing if you wait till this thing breaks, if it's going to break under the 200-day. Right now it's at 6 cents. The 200-day would be anywhere under the 6.1. Basically, it's at 6.1, basically 6.2. Like I said, it's not far above its 200. So I would wait anything under pretty much the 6 cents to see confirmation as far as if this thing's going to possibly drop back down towards the 5 and the 4 cents. Because I know when I was looking at it, this thing was at about 4 cents, right? So now let's see here. Everybody that's in, welcome. We are basically mapping out what's going on for Milady. If you guys missed, scroll back at the beginning of the stream. We pretty much explained what my opinion on what I think's going on with Milady and some of the other meme coins that were pumping with it. Basically, to save you some time, I honestly think that the momentum for Milady has kind of stalled because the retail investors have moved from projects like Milady and Bunk and maybe a few other ones over to some new other meme coins that are starting to get the spotlight. So let's see here. So Sean said he bought some more at 9.8. Nice. Just add to that bag, bro. I think at the end of the day, it's gonna pay off for you for sure. Michael said garbage. I don't know what you mean by garbage. Explain that, brother. And Frank was laughing because I think that's from the last meme coin that we were looking at, and I will bring that back up. I think it is absolutely hilarious. I think whoever came out with the name was just like, I think they were like, honestly, like probably like just, they came out with this gimmicky name, right? That's just freaking hilarious. But I think when it started to really rally up, they probably were like, holy crap, this thing is actually moving, right? And I think it's the name, dude. It's like the name. I was watching someone's channel earlier, and a bigger YouTube channel, and there was like thousands of people in there, and you should have seen the jokes that were going in there as far as this meme coin. It's cock inu, right? So you can only imagine what the jokes were saying. It was absolutely hilarious. So let's see here. Corgi AI is going up. Corgi AI has a low of 50 billion max supply. Eduardo, Corgi AI I think is going to be a big project. Corgi AI has moved up so much. That's why I'm so mad, because I was looking at Corgi probably about 3 months ago, right before it started rallying. I was already like just looking through the DeFi to see what I think the projects that were going to be big movers. And this thing out of nowhere, I swear, after I'm looking at it, like 2 days later, this thing just shoots up. And I was like, well, I'll wait. Continues to move at a time where it was like up like over 1,000%. It has had some cool off, but I think it's going on for another rally. And we'll look at Corgi here in a minute, but definitely a project that I think is gonna do big, especially if it can get well, it already is on crypto.com. I think you can buy it on crypto.com if I'm not mistaken. All right, so let's see here. No pain, no gains. Exactly, Vin. It's 100% what I believe too, right? No pain, no gain. Sean was saying, I don't really care if it goes down because I just accumulate more anyways, right? That's exactly what I've been saying. If it goes down to 60 million, I'm putting 5K in. And Sean means like $60 million market cap, right? I think that goes to show. Remember, if you were here, Sean, when we were first mapping out Milady, it was at like $20 million. Imagine, I was saying this thing has the potential to go crazy, and people we were kind of agreeing. So imagine the people that were, put in some money on when Milady was down at like $15-20 million, right? Now we're looking back after it pumped, and we're even looking at a market cap of like 60 million, and we're like, if it goes down to that, that's going to be like a crazy time, because we're going to be putting a lot of money, you, myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people, right? So it's just crazy how you look back, hindsight 2020. Let's go, Milady. Come on, let's move up. AI daily. I'm holding. Let's see here. I'm holding before the first leg. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, Mike. And Clayton, momentum is down. Money is shifting. I'll buy more. Just looking for a good entry. Exactly. I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now, Clayton, is they're kind of just sitting on the sidelines because, looking at Milady right now, you can see, you're like, well, where is the spot that we're really going to find that solid support? And to be honest, from what it's looking like right now, it looks like we formed better support where we're at right now than I was anticipating at the 99 to 10 mark. This 9.3 is really holding some support. Now, things can shift very easily, right? It has been sitting here for the last hour, I believe, or maybe a little bit longer. But if you can see, this has been a spot where we have bounced more, like, well, you can see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and now we're on the 5th time that we've bounced at this spot, at the 9.2, 9.3 mark. So this is going to be a spot to watch. I honestly think if we do break this, I wouldn't be worried. We probably will bounce somewhere around this 8.1 mark. That's probably going to be a very big entry spot, not just for people sitting on the sides, but myself, because that means if we drop down to that 8.1, you're looking at a drop of, let's see here, drum roll, you're looking at a drop of around 12%. So if that thing drops down another 12%, think about 12% off of this market cap. You're looking at probably another 12%. You're probably looking at somewhere roughly around another 8%, around 6 to 8%. So you're looking at that $60 million market cap at around the 8.1. So I think that's, something like that. When we get down to these lower levels, if we do drop down to there, I'm telling you, Milady's going to find a spot. It's going to find a spot, and it's going to bounce. And we're just waiting, because it's not just Milady. It's a lot of projects. Now, let's see here. Disclaimer, Cockanoo just made a new local high. And what I was saying is, I think a lot of these projects, I'm telling you, I wouldn't doubt that a lot of people, retail investors that were in Milady, jump ship, and they're in little projects like this right here. Now, let's look at Bitcoin real quick. So let me zoom out a little bit. We are zoomed in. So if you guys remember, yesterday we were mapping out in pretty much the last week. Remember, this was like the past weekend. We were having this downward movement, right? And I said it looks like it formed a nice bull flag. Well, the bull flag did play out, but it didn't play out as much as I was anticipating. It didn't play out as much as I was anticipating. I was anticipating us moving up towards somewhere around at least the 44,000. It did actually come. This candle did bounce at, I believe, let's see here. So if you look where we actually hit the little local high was around 43,500. I was saying that was my lower expectation, around that 43,500, somewhere around there. And we did hit it technically, right? We did hit it, but it was very short-lived, and you can see we kind of moved back down into this channel. Now, what are we thinking about Bitcoin? Well, I think right now we're just in a weird spot with Bitcoin, right? You look at 42,000, and to be honest, 42,000 is not as good for Bitcoin, but people get bored. and they forget where we came from, right? And a lot of people are looking at it as, well, we were at 45 and now we're at 42. Oh no, the market's going back down, right? And a lot of people will sell off. It'll spook a lot of people, and that's what I think's going on with Bitcoin. It's just kind of in a spot right now where it is trying to find where it's going to bounce at, and basically get up on that new leg up. But until then, we're really not going to see a lot of movement on a lot of these projects, because unfortunately a project like Milady has really kind of gone parallel with Bitcoin. It might not look exactly the same as far as in the charts, but Bitcoin starts going up, Milady starts to move up. Bitcoin starts to go down, Milady starts to move down. It's just how it works. So let's see here, catching up on the chat. So Sean was saying, so you might be right. They might be going after projects this week versus last week. So since Milady is dropping, that tells me to accumulate until they come back around and pump Milady again. And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's like, with the retail investors, those are the people that are in for the short-term gains, right? They're just in to make a little bit of money and they jump out. They're like, it's like they're scared almost, right? They're scared. Those are the people that really don't believe in crypto. They're just in to make some small gains and jump out. You have the actual investors that are here that are in for long term because maybe they've been in it before. Maybe a lot of you guys have seen, in the bull run, what these things can actually do. I tell you guys all the time, I'm not just speaking randomly. I'm speaking from facts, from everything that I've accumulated as far as knowledge and my my own trials and errors of being in the crypto market, and starting from 2020, right before that bull market hit, right? I remember how the projects were working. I remember like Dogecoin particularly was just, it was like, that meme where it's like the little kid has a stick and he's like, do something, right? It's like, that's what it was just like so boring. And it was actually not boring. It was aggravating because it would just continuously, it would like have these little pumps that would be very short lived and it would just move down and move down even more. But something kept telling me just to keep buying. And eventually it paid off. It took some time though. It really did. And that's why I always preach patience. So again, looking back, something that really just is, to me, is very bullish that I don't see a lot of people talking about is like what we just saw. The whales are accumulating more. The whales hold 68% of Milady. Now you can think that's a little nerve-wracking, right? The whales hold 68%, but at the end of the day, they're holding 68%, right? This isn't going down. This is going up. In the last week, it has gone up almost 20 trillion coins that have gone into whale wallets, meaning they're taking advantage of this dip and they are continuing to buy. They're continuing to add to their bags. The only people that we're seeing that's going down, and you can see it right here firsthand, whales at 633 trillion, investors at 128. The retail investors are the ones that are going down, the people that are coming in and out. So that's what kind of leads me to think that they're just they're buying in on the projects that are moving, right? Trying to get those quick 10-20% gains, and then they're just moving to other projects, and that's more power to them, right? More power to them. I guarantee they're going to look back, because I've done this before where I've done moves like that, and you look back, it might be 4 months down the road, maybe 6 months down the road, but you look back and you're like, I had 100 billion of that project, and now it's like 30x'd, and you look back and you're like, I made 10%, 20%, when you could have 30x'd your whole portfolio, right? Or whatever your holdings as far as whatever project it is. It's happened to me before. It's actually happened to me multiple times. That's why I've kind of just stopped timing the market. I'm not in it to time the market anymore. There is a time to do that. Whenever we're in a bullish market, that's when I will do stuff, and I like, as far as like buy in on projects for like day trading. I'll use a nice considerable amount, and I'll buy in on projects that are day trading, and I'll look for those 5 or 10% gains, off of like $5,000, stuff like that, because that's what I'm looking for. But it's not long term. Buying in and holding is for what we're in right now and what we just came out of. That's the accumulation zone, right? That's the accumulation zone. So let's see here. So Sean's saying XRP will be a monster. I believe I think XRP has been so quiet lately. It's a little questionable. XRP's been so quiet. I think they're cooking something up. I really do. I think after they're basically recharging up after that whole the whole XRP debacle as far as them beating the case and stuff like that. And I think they're cooking something up. XRP is something I would love to buy in and hold. I have been just waiting to see maybe if we could possibly touch that 50 cent mark, right? If we can get to that 50 cent mark, I am actually waiting to jump in. We haven't gone down to the 50 cent mark particularly. We've been staying above. You can see the lowest we've kind of dropped down to is about the 57. So I'm just waiting to see maybe if we can maybe get down. If I don't get it, I don't get it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but if we can drop down to that 50 cent, I wouldn't mind buying a few thousand, XRP and just holding on to it for long term, right? XRP definitely, it's going to be a big player. It already is. I mean, the market cap's at $33 billion. This thing is definitely a big project. I'm waiting for that mark, but I'm also waiting for them to release this country's using XRP for their currency. Something crazy like that, right? All right, guys, if you guys haven't already, make sure you've hit that hit the subscribe for sure, but make sure you guys hit that like too. We're trying to bring in people, bring them into the Milady space so they can come in, get into the project early, right? Because this thing is going to definitely do some big things. Even though we are going through a little cool off period right now, doesn't bother me, doesn't worry me. I'm honestly getting excited because we're getting to some of these levels where I will not feel bad dropping a quick $1,000 in Milady real quick, right? And I know some of you guys are like, $1,000 because you guys are holding on to like 100 billion, and I know that's a lot more than 1,000, but it does matter, right? We're all going to be wealthy if this thing goes up multi-billion-dollar market cap. So let's see here. So remember when Lady was doing 2 to 5 million and that was high volume for us? Wait till Lady is doing 100 to 500 million a day. Yeah, and that's really, if we if we get up to like something like we keep referring to, like if it gets up to like somewhere around like Shiba's numbers where it was at its prime, 100, 500 million won't be nothing. Imagine if it does billions of dollars a day in volume, right? Because that's what when Shiba and even Doge was up at their primes, they were pulling in billions of dollars a day in volume. Just imagine that. And that's another thing too, is like you look at Milady. When Milady was down, like 3-4 months ago when it was at its low, we were literally trading with the volume at not even $1 million a day. Just the other day when we hit our local high, we were trading in, and I think it shows the volume. At this high right here, the volume was at $35 million. So think about that. Just the volume in just a few months had 35x'd when it was at its high. Just imagine that. So I mean, it will do that again. It will. It'll 100x easily. It's got to just set itself up. It's got to have the right environment, the right ingredients. And I think what this pump did was really open people's eyes and see, not only for Milady, but other meme coins, that the big money, and I don't mean the big money, I mean the big gains, are usually with the meme coins. People hate on it. People are like, well, there's no fundamentals. And I completely agree. But the big gains, and I think the gateway into crypto for a lot of people getting that financial foundation is usually made through the meme coins in the bull market, right? You have people like myself that'll make some solid money off of meme coins, when they one of their first investments in crypto, and that'll kind of get them in their feet wet as far as getting in and really investing in other bigger solid projects, and then you start to learn crypto and you start to learn what a lot of these projects are doing. And I think that's what's awesome about meme coins. Particularly, I don't hate on meme coins whatsoever. I actually look at people that hate on them. I'm like, why do you hate on, even if you're a Bitcoin maxi, or you're a diehard XRP, or you're a lone survivor for Ethereum? Why are you hating on people that are buying into meme coins? They're bringing money into the space. They're bringing attention into the space. Why are you hating? Because at the end of the day, you want crypto to thrive. No matter what project you're involved in, you want crypto to thrive. And that's one thing about crypto, is we don't want to create this tribalism where we're like, if you're an ADA, you hate everything that's about Solana, or you hate everything that's about, no, that's not the way that, we need to be thinking. We need to be thinking right now, because crypto's still so early. It's still so early, and majority of people do not hold crypto. So we want to do whatever we can to bring more people into this space, because we're the early ones, right? And what we want to do at the end of the day, I know it sounds not mean, but it just sounds like, I don't know if it's self-centered or selfish or what, but the object of what we're trying to do is buy these coins right now, right? And sell them to all the people that are not in right now. We want to sell all our coins to the people in the next 2 years when we're in a bull run, that are jumping in when everything is so high up, right? That's what you want to do. You want to hold on to your stuff right now, buy them at a low, and we're going to sell them to the people that are going to be buying in when the FOMO's seriously set in, and Bitcoin's at $100,000 and Milady is market cap's at $10 billion. Now you want to sell all your Milady to, the highest bidder that wants to come buy it in, that was basically not even wanting to acknowledge crypto a year prior, right? That's what the goal is. As sad as it sounds, and that's really what the goal is. Really, it's buyers and sellers, right? So Clayton asked if I invested in Cockanu. Oh, he asked if Sean did. I haven't. I don't even know. Cockanu, I don't know. Is that trading on XRP? I mean, XRP. Is Cockanu trading on Ethereum? Let's look this up real quick. This freaking coin. This is just hilarious. It really is. So, Trader Joe. Oh, it's on Avalanche. So, it's on the Avalanche's ecosystem. So if you guys are looking to do any kind of swaps, KuCoin is always like one of the first bigger exchanges to pick up these meme coins. Shout out to KuCoin. Too bad we can't trade them in America anymore. But you can see, so the top exchanges that are basically, as far as volume, Trader Joe on Avalanche. Obviously, it's some kind of a swap, kind of like Pancake Swap or Uniswap, anything like that. That's what it's pretty much on for Avalanche. Obviously, KuCoin, Bygit. That's another big exchange that jumps in pretty early. I've never heard of Is that BitTrue? Never heard of that one. And then OpenSea as well, with this very small volume. But Cockanu, almost like cockadoo. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. The market cap's actually relatively not that. This thing just came out. This thing literally just came out. Let's see here how long it's been. So it's only been out. This thing really just got released on the 11th of this month. So it's only been out for like a week. And you can see right now the market cap's around 262 million with the volume of 54 million, right? So you can see these projects are bringing in, even though 54 million is not a massive amount, it's still bringing in a lot of meme coin traders. And that, you better believe, that's what it's going to take from other projects like Milady. Because right now, as much as you want to believe that we're in a full-blown bull market, we're technically not. We're at the beginning of one, right? So the volume really hasn't gone nuts yet. So there's only a limited amount of money that's going around. And you're going to see people pulling from certain projects that maybe are up in the green. They're going to pull from certain projects, and they're going to basically move it over to other whatever it is, like meme coins and stuff like that. The fear and greed index is at a 72 out of 100. So you can see right there, the fear and greed has been steadily moving up, right? That's usually, you can look at it both ways. You can look at it as it's a good thing, or you can look at it as kind of a, it's getting a little bit up there to where we might need the fear to kind of come in a little bit more, so we can stack up a little bit more of our projects. Because when the fear and when the greed starts going up, it usually means it's an indicator to sell, right? Because now the greed is up. You have a lot of people thinking that this thing is just going to continue to keep moving up, and that's usually when big moves towards the downside happens. Not saying that's going to happen right now. Bitcoin dominance sitting at around 52. It's been really 52%. It's been around that for the last few days. It's really, since we've seen the market kind of cool off in the last week, you've seen Bitcoin's dominance kind of move up like 1% or 2. Excuse me, just sneezed. And for the actual volume for the whole crypto market, it's been around $60 billion. And you can see the volume is down over 7% for the day, for the 24 hours. So, I mean, you can see across the board, the volume has gone down almost 10% in the last 24 hours. So, and market cap alone for the whole crypto market has gone down 1%. So, nothing crazy. But this isn't just a Milady thing. I'm really still sticking to it. I don't think this is just a Milady thing. I think this is a whole crypto market thing right here, where we're just seeing a lot of projects that have been going crazy lately. They're pretty much cooling off right now. Are they setting up for a new run? You better believe they are. You better believe it, because like I told you guys yesterday, right when Bitcoin starts moving back up and it gets up to that 44 and we break the 44 and then we get up to 55,000, because it's going to happen and it's going to come, you're going to see all these projects immediately, maybe not immediately, but you'll see a lot of them that are getting beat down. They'll at least bounce, right? They're not going to immediately just shoot up to these local highs, but you'll see something like Milady start forming green candles and start finding that support wherever it may be whenever that happens, and then we start shooting up, and then eventually we start having these massive green candles again, and what do you know, we're at a new local high. So let's see here. So Chris is saying XRP is fire. That's, I believe it. I don't hold on to any XRP. Like I said, I'm waiting, holding my patience, and hopefully I can buy in, at a nice fraction of a price right before it shoots up. Because I think XRP, I know XRP is definitely gonna cross over that dollar mark in this bull run. People are calling for some crazy things like $5-6. Some people are even saying hundreds of dollars, which I don't think that that's physically possible, just because of the fact that the market cap is already so high. The market cap's already at $34 billion. So it going up to $1, the market cap would be somewhere around $100 billion. And that's still, it can definitely do more, because Ethereum is at 300 billion. So you can look at a project like XRP possibly will get up towards $200-300 billion eventually, right? And this is obviously when Bitcoin hits, multi-trillion dollars, and Ethereum probably is at $1 trillion. And Solana, who knows where Solana is going to be, right? Because Solana's been battling XRP for market cap. So let's look up some coin projects that have 8 zeros. Sean, you have any in mind? 8 zeros? You have any in mind? How many zeros does Cockanu have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 zeros. This thing's up 800% for the year. This thing's up 800% in the last week. Isn't that crazy? We got to get this out of here. Cockanu. Get out of here. Let's look up some projects. So look at ICP. I'm glad I brought this up. So let's look up ICP real quick. I want to show you guys. So ICP recently has been going on a crazy run, right? I made a video today about ICP, and you know what? It has it's really kind of been sitting where it was at earlier when I made the video, but you can see we bounced again at this support right here. And ICP's really, this project just a couple days ago would look like it was unstoppable. It looked like it was unstoppable, and now you look at it and it's cooling off. ICP is cooling off. And if you think that this thing isn't going to be going on another run eventually, I mean, you're sadly mistaken. This thing is going to definitely go on another run. But I think, like I keep saying, a lot of the projects that were rallying in the last like week or two are all taking a breather right now. They're all taking a breather. And I think they're all setting up for another run, is what I'm thinking. So let's see here. So Milady's still sitting at that pivotal spot that we've been saying at the 9.3. I would love to just I want to add or jump in, but I kind of want to wait because I'm just waiting to see what we're going to do from this point. It's either this is a pivotal spot. Either we're going to break it and we're most likely going to drop down to this 8.1, or we're going to bounce from here. We're going to either bounce from here, or at least we're going to be chopping, in this spot right here. I think we probably have seen where a lot of the retailers are pretty much they're not out, because retailers are always holding, right? But we're probably seeing where the retailers are most likely, they're getting exhausted. They've had a full 5 days, if not more, that they've been selling off, right? Because we started seeing this sell-off. Oh man, this only has been 3 days. It's only been 3 days since we've been towards these local highs. So it feels like we've been on a downward movement for like the last week, but it's only been 3 days. And then when we're moving up, it feels like it just goes by so fast, right? When we're like having these crazy green candles, it just feels like everything's just flying by. But when we're on our way down, it's just like it just feels like it's dragging. The days are taking forever. I swear it felt like it's been a week. It's been 3 days. So let's see here. So I have a good feeling about Cockatoo. Frank, I mean, other than that being hilariously said, yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a new meme coin. I mean, it's only been out for a week, right? So, it's kind of like, be careful with it, right? I think people are buying in and making those quick gains, but, who knows what that thing's going to be. Maybe in a month from now, let's talk about it and let's see, where it's at. Was it a quick, pump and dump, or was it is it still up there? Market cap still sitting at around $200-300 million. And Sean said meme coins will get somebody rich if they time it right. And that's exactly what it is. It's all about timing, right? It's all about timing and patience. It's all about timing and patience. If you can, it's not just buying in at the right time. It's also having patience and waiting for that right time to sell. Waiting for that right time to sell, I think is just as important as buying in at the right time. That's what I think. So, Clayton said that I've seen some YouTubers claim that XRP will go to $100,000 per coin. That's delusional. People that don't live in reality. You know what I call those people, Clayton? And I'm not hating on anybody that's on YouTube. They're doing that for clicks. Right? They know everybody doesn't believe that. But if you're in a project, let's say you're invested in a project and someone's telling you bought in at 1 penny and they're telling you this thing's going to $100. You're probably going to click into their video just to hear what they have to say, right? Even if you know that it's probably crap, you're still going to click into it. And at the end of the day, that's what they're doing it for. They're doing it for clicks. They know in their minds, there's no way, there's not enough money in the world probably for XRP to go up to $10,000 per coin. The only way for that to happen is they would have to have some kind of a burning mechanism where they would have to take out a big chunk of the circulating supply, right? That's the only way that a project like XRP would go up to $10,000 per coin, given that the market cap already is at over $33 billion right now, and it's at 60 cents. Let's look up. Let me see. So someone asked, or Sean was asking about news as far as for crypto. So let's see. Let's see if there's anything big that's coming out or anything that's going on as far as so 7 predictions about the crypto lending landscape in 2024. How Asia drives the next crypto bull market. Kind of want to click into that. We'll see. The Bitcoin fee flipping is upon us. And let's see here. Bitcoin spot ETF's biggest development on Wall Street is in the last 30 years, says Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is going to go down in the history books. Watch. Bitcoin goes up to $100,000, and Michael Saylor is going to be the richest man in the world. Mark my words. Let's see here. So ETF halving upgrades, what to expect with the Bitcoin next year, right? And this is what we've all been talking about. This is what we all have been talking about. You know, all these catalysts, ETF, the halving, the interest rate cuts, all this stuff happening in 2024. It just seems on paper that the markets, not just crypto, but the whole market, like stock markets as well, is set to really go on a nice run. So let's see here. So I want to click into, and we won't read it, word for word, but let's see how they claim that how the Asian market drives the next Bitcoin, or excuse me, the next bull run. So let's see here if there's anything that we can pick out. So each cycle is let's see here. Each cycle is accompanied by a unique cultural narrative. The last cycle was dominated by art NFTs, sparked by, let's see, blah, blah, blah. The future fueled by the PFP craze and the fine arts use case growing with prominence at the scale of, okay, let's see here. This is talking about NFTs. So what do you guys think? You guys think that Asia is going to drive the next bull market? I know in like the Asian areas, like particularly like China, you go back a couple years and they were really against crypto, but you can see a lot of adoption. They actually like in Hong Kong, it's becoming one of the biggest crypto hubs of the world, and I think that that's going to follow suit with a lot of Asian countries, if not regions over there, that a lot of Asian areas are going to really adopt, Bitcoin and possibly some bigger players as far as crypto. Now, one thing is that like China banned people from trading crypto. I think they've laxed a lot of it, but if they really just up and just make everything where it's like in America where you can basically just trade everything, imagine how many people are going to get into the market. And maybe that's something that they're getting to as far as, the Asian markets really driving this next bull run, because maybe they're seeing something on the horizon where China will allow, and not just China, but a lot of other countries over there will allow their citizens to just freely trade, crypto and stuff like that. China particularly, they don't really like Bitcoin because they see it as some kind of a threat towards their currency. But if you really know anything about Bitcoin, Bitcoin's not here to take out anyone's currency. It really is not. It's a big store of value, basically like a digital gold, where you can trade your currency for Bitcoin and just store it in the hopes that it's going to continue to, increase in value, right? But you're not looking to take your Bitcoin and go buy, stuff with it, right? When people buy gold, especially if they're buying the hard metals, they're not taking gold to the dealership and buying cars with it. Well, most people aren't, right? They're not taking gold to the supermarket and buying food with gold, right? Those days are long and gone. But people still buy gold because it is a store of value, right? And that's exactly what Bitcoin's going to do. That's what Bitcoin is. 8 seems like a sweet spot to buy in. That's pretty much what I'm getting to, Sean, is I'm looking at that 8 mark. That's going to be when, if Milady can drop down to that 8 mark, we're going to see the market cap somewhere around that $60 million mark. I feel comfortable really putting a lot of money into there. I really do. Someone asked about H-bar. H-bar, I feel like H-bar, either you love it or you hate it, right? And I have a friend that is an investor friend that he's like a diehard H-bar. He's like diehard. If I have any questions about H-bar, he's like, I'll call him, and he's like, literally tells me everything there is to know about H-bar. Let me see here. Why is it not bringing up? This isn't it, right? Is this H-bar? Yeah, it is. So H-bar actually looks bullish. It really does. I know during the bear market that we were sitting in, it was like around 4 to 5 cents. So I mean, the fact that it's up right now at 8, little over 8 cents, and you can kind of see, it did make a local high, and it's since then been kind of cooling off, but it looks like it's ready to go on another run, sitting above the 200-day, so definitely looking very bullish. I know H-bar has a lot of things going for it. For some reason, I was hearing a lot of FUD on H-bar recently. I don't remember exactly what it is, and obviously we don't spread FUD around here. We spread facts, but if I don't know exactly what it is, I won't even repeat it, because I don't want to like sit there and spread misinformation or anything like that. So H-bar, real quick, just to look at it, this thing literally, so it made a local high at around 8.8 cents, and since then did a clean bounce right here at the 382 at the 7.2 cents, and this thing actually bounced up to the 236 at around 7.8, and you can see it didn't just bounce up there, but it literally made sure that it had that support, and now it looks like it wants to go up on another rally to where it's going to get up towards this local high. From where it's sitting to the local high, it's only 9% away. So H-bar actually looks very bullish right now. It really does. H-bar looks very bullish. Let's see here. So if you believe Asia will push to the next bull run, look at ACH and Jasmy. I own both, no matter how much people laugh at Jasmy. So Jasmy, not familiar. ACH, when they first dropped, I actually made some good money off of ACH. I know they're a big, like, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're like big as far as like trying to facilitate transactions, I believe, or something in those lines. It dropped on to Coinbase, and I bought in and did that Coinbase effect. This was like back in 2021. I remember buying in somewhere around where it's at right now, and it jumped up. This thing, when it first came out, let's look at it. When this thing first came out, this thing shot up, you can see, up to like 10, 11 cents. I remember I bought in, it was like at 2 cents, and I put money in, and this thing shot up to like 10 cents in like a day. And I remember buying in and selling real fast just because it was such a crazy gigapump. But since then, it really has, hasn't gone anywhere. And like I said, I've heard good things as far as transaction wise. So I'm guessing that ACH is an Asian crypto. I would imagine, kind of like VET. I believe like VeChain is Asian as well. So for ACH, made a local high, not an all-time high, but a local high at around 2.5 cents. It is sitting above its 200-day, so still looking bullish, but it has dropped down from that local high considerably, and it's not far from its 200-day. So if I was to look in to see if maybe I was going to buy in, I'd probably, just caution, wait. You might be able to find a good spot right here at the 1.8 cent mark. That's at the 0.5 fib. Looks like it's bounced a few times on that. It has broke below it, breaking a little bit under its 200-day, but you can see it's very short-lived. If you can catch under the 200-day, which right now technically would be somewhere around pretty much where I already stated, but around that 1.7 cents, that wouldn't be a bad spot to accumulate or add to your bag. Not financial advice, obviously. So let's see here. So that would have to take over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I missed something what you guys are talking about. My bad. When H-bar gets clear 10 cents, it's off to the races. It's it's my biggest bag for sure. Nice. H-bar, like I said, we were looking at it looks bullish. It looks very bullish. Definitely very bullish. Real quick, everybody that's in right now, if you haven't already, make sure you guys have hit the likes. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, hit the likes, guys. We have 21 likes. We have at least over 30 people in right now. So right now, just take a pause and hit the like for me, right? Bringing people into the algorithm space. Obviously, we're promoting Milady, a lot of other altcoins, but we want to bring people into the space, obviously, and just let them see. If they're not familiar with Milady, this could be their opportunity to see. And then obviously, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe. We've been coming out with lives every day now. It's going to be probably around the evening time. We're going to have lives after everybody gets off work and stuff like that. We can just kind of talk and see what the markets are doing. I will tell you, when we get back into this upward momentum, you'll see, watch, the lives will go from like 30 to 40 people back up to where the other day we had like 100 people at one time in the lives, and massive amount of comments and stuff like that. That's how YouTube and crypto, kind of like the YouTube crypto, works together. If the markets are down, a lot of people, they don't even want to look at the market. They don't even want to get into the crypto channels or anything like that. You usually will only see, like, all of us, the diehards that have been here since the bear market, are usually in, but I don't know what it is. And then it's like when things start pumping, you'll see the channel will start just going crazy, right? We'll jump up to like 1,500 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, because everybody's just pouring in, right? And then it's like we'll have a cool off and everybody's back out of it. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. It's like it literally goes in sync with the market. So just to recap real quick, Milady, it's not looking terrible, right? We're not looking bad. We're still trying to find that spot in the sand that we're going to hold. The 9-3, we've been on here for what? How long have we been on here for? We've been on here for over an hour, and this 9-3 has been holding. It's been holding an hour before we even started the live stream. So I think the 9-3 is really a solid spot in the sand. A lot of us are waiting. I think this 8-1, if we do break it, it's going to be a solid spot that we're going to probably find as some support. But who knows at this times, right? Right now, a lot of retail sellers are basically selling off on Milady. We already basically determined that. Obviously, looking at the whales and stuff like that, it's the retailers that are selling right now. Whales are accumulating, investors are holding on, but the retail sellers are basically the ones that are selling off right now. So if that's the case, let them sell off. We'll let them go, and we'll keep just adding to our bags. Maybe they'll give us a good opportunity to where we can buy in at some good cheap prices. So what do I think about Augie ETH? Let's see here. That is new to me. I've never heard of it. So let's see. Is it Augie Anu? That's what popped up. Is it Augie Anu? Let me know, Pierre. Wait, an Augie BCS too? How many freaking Augies are there, bro? Is this the right one you were talking about? That's what it looks like. This looks like a fairly new project, obviously. This little line that just formed right here, that's the 200A. So, to be honest, something like this, these are high-risk plays, you can tell, with these crazy little shoots, these gigapumps everywhere. This is something where if you can maybe catch it down at the bottom right here, and maybe run one of these run-ups and sell, you might be able to make some good profits, right? Just be careful that you're not buying in on one of these tops, because then you could end up having to hold on to your bag, right? And you definitely don't want to sell at a loss. But this right here, you could easily make some money, but you need to make sure you watch and catch it at the right time. So like where it's at right now would be a very cautious spot, because you're already kind of halfway up on some of these gigapumps, right? This thing could shoot up or it could drop down, so I would be very cautious with this. So Mark O came in saying, I love ladies, right? I love ladies. I hear you. So let's see here. So Sean was saying that ETF is going to go buck wild. Definitely something like that is what we need. Hopefully we can go into the New Year's. Bitcoin sitting at around 42, maybe 43,000. And remember, the ETF for Bitcoin is supposedly going to be approved. This is what is out there, right? Things can change, but it's supposedly going to be approved around January 5th to January 10th in that little time frame, right? Now, if we get confirmation that it's 100% going to be approved, or when it gets approved, you better believe that Bitcoin is going to definitely rally. Now, I think it's going to have a nice rally, but we're probably going to see some kind of a rally and maybe some kind of a sell-off, because you know how it goes. People are buying in on the news and they're selling, or they're buying in on the rumor, and then whenever it actually happens, they're going to probably sell off, right? I'm not saying that it's going to drop down, crazy, but we could see some kind of a spike where we maybe get close to $50,000, and then maybe after the ETF cools down, we might see some kind of a drop down, maybe, find some support above where we're at right now. but maybe we find some support at around 45,000. I kind of have some spots already mapped out. This is from previously spots that we have found as some support. You can see particularly support or resistance. First spot would be right here at the 44.8. We technically have already bounced off that spot and got rejected. The next spot that is going to be some resistance, eventually will flip to support, will be around that 45,600 mark. So if we do somehow bounce up towards that $50,000 mark for Bitcoin after the ETF, I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe drop down and find some support above where we're sitting at right now, somewhere around anywhere from around that 45,000, or possibly a couple other areas that we have not mapped out yet, because I do want to see us get past this 45,000 mark before we start really getting above or ahead of ourselves. So as we start moving, and when that time does go on, we definitely will map everything out as far as, you know, in between that 45 and $50,000 mark. But as of right now, the 44.8 is where we hit our head on. That's our local high. So that's the first pivotal spot that we have to break. And we will. After we break that, obviously it's going to be that 45.6, 45,700 mark, around there. But I don't worry, because Bitcoin is slowly but steadily moving in the right direction. And that's going to be to the right and up and to the right, right? Let's see here. And yeah, you hear those stories about people that bought Bitcoin early and they finally opened up the device that they stored it on and end up being millionaires. I love those stories. You know, and that's what it is you know, people think that the opportunity to make millions of dollars has come and go, but I honestly think we have a few more bull runs where we're going to see these massive gains, right? And then I think when regulation comes in on crypto as a whole, when Bitcoin gets its ETF and it's a little bit more of a publicly traded, you know, asset, I think Bitcoin's not going to have the big swings that we usually see, right? You know, we're used to Bitcoin, you know, rallying up, you know, in 2-3x or 5x, you know, and then going down. Whenever the bear market comes, it goes down 60-70%, right? That's because right now it's still, believe it or not, the crypto is the wild west of investments, right? But I think as we move and we evolve in crypto, Bitcoin's not going to have those enormous swings. I think when we start having those bear markets and stuff like that, when we get established, it's going to be more of like a 20-25% drop, right? And then when we get into the bull markets, it's going to be more of like a 50 to 100% move up, something like that. But it's going to be mostly just steady, and those swings are going to be more defined compared to how they've been in the last 10 years, where they're just like, you know, craziness. You know, you look back at the charts for Bitcoin and it's just insane. And if you really look at all the altcoins, it's absolutely insane, right? You have some of these, I mean, these swings are insane. It really is, compared to if you look at like the NASDAQ and stuff like that. I'm sure the NASDAQ reacted like this when it first was traded, but eventually it started to get a lot stabler. And that's eventually what we're going to get to with Bitcoin. We are. Now, if you look, remember, or you, not that we remember, but if you can look at this this chart real quick, and you see where we're at, this red line right here is indicating, I know there's a lot of blue lines, so try to look in here. Now it just flipped green, but this green line right here indicates where we're at right now, price action, right? And you can see, look at this. So when we went into this this bull run right here, this was back in 2020. We went on this bull run, and it looks like we hit our head pretty much where we're at right now. And we eventually, now remember, we're looking at like 5 years, right? This is a 5-year chart pretty much. Yeah, because it's going back to 2017. This is a 7-year chart that we're looking at, right? So everything looks like it just happened like real fast, but you can see we hit our head right where we're at right now, and we got rejected. And you can see we bounced back down towards $29,000 before we actually really went on this massive bull run, right? So something like that's not out of the cards yet. If you really look at this run, it kind of looks similar to kind of what we've been in. I'm not saying that it's going to happen exactly like this, but something like this could easily play out where, it's a 2020 kind of run. We hit our head on where we're at right now. Maybe you have to retrace back to like 25. I'm sorry, not 25, but like 35 or 30 or yeah, 35 or $30,000, somewhere around there, before we actually confirm on this bounce, and then we start making our way up. And you can see, imagine being in the market at that time, right? Where everything's euphoric, you're moving up, can't tell me nothing, everything's pumping. I'm sure the altcoins are even looking even crazier, and boom, we hit our head up here, and eventually we start chopping and we start coming down, right? Imagine what all the FUD that was out. We're going into a bear market. We're getting into a bear market, and I actually was involved in this area right here. This is where I kind of jumped in, and I remember I told you it was nerve-wracking because I had bought in, but Dogecoin, I had only bought in at Dogecoin at the time, and I was buying in at like 2 or 3 cents, but I remember I was buying in at like 5 cents, and then we were dropping down, and I was like, good God, and I'm looking at it, and it was dropping down and stuff like that, and I just kept buying, right? Kept buying. Didn't know what was in store, like what was ahead of us, but I just kept buying, and eventually we pulled out of it, and it was all we needed was that confirmation, that nice bounce. We bounced twice off of 29,000, and from there on, I remember these bounces, right? And I remember us getting in and just really going crazy. Eventually it really set in. And that's when, everybody and their mom were talking about Bitcoin and crypto, like Dogecoin and stuff like that. And that's when I knew we were in a full-blown bull market. So I'm kind of waiting until that, where grandma comes up to me and asks me, how does she buy Bitcoin? That's when I'm going to probably pull up my portfolios and just start hitting the sell button. Because that's exactly what happened last time. Almost to the T. So if you guys are just jumping in, welcome. Make sure you guys hit that like. We're bringing people into Milady. Right now, we are watching Milady. Obviously, we have been on a downward movement. But just a quick recap, we were looking, and a lot of altcoins and a lot of projects that have been really pushing and moving in the last week or two are all having a nice cool off right now. They're all having a nice cool off. So nothing is too worrisome right now. It's not like there's a mean red candle from hell dropping us like 40%, right? That hasn't happened. So we are, this is perfectly fine. I think we're looking for a solid spot that's going to give us that confirmation of a bounce. We're still searching for it. We're going to find it. If it's going to be, it could be this 9.3 mark. This 9.3, we have been sitting on this for the last 2 or 3 hours, if not longer. We've been sitting here. All these other spots, we did not sit here that long. We sat there for maybe a little while, and then we eventually broke it. This 9.3 has been holding and holding. Now, we haven't really moved from the 9.3. That's the only thing, is we haven't got the confirmation of a bounce. Now, don't just because if we see like maybe a little green line, we might end up forming a green line and bouncing back up towards this 9.9 and dropping to 0 and getting rejected again. So watch out for the fake out. Like I said, myself, and a few other people we discussed, we're waiting possibly to see if we're going to break this. If we do, I'm probably looking at somewhere around this 8.1 mark as a solid spot for some support. That's probably where I'm going to start buying in some big bags and basically just jumping in, because I think that's where I feel comfortable really buying in. At the 8.1 mark, the market cap will be somewhere around $60 million, which even if we continue to move down from there, I will not care, because I'll just keep adding in dollar cost averaging in, making sure that I'm buying at these discounts. So let's see here. Any other questions real quick? So Ben was saying, I don't trade crypto, but I do Forex and shares. It's so cool to listen to. Hey, Ben, I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. That Forex, I know that's Forex is currency, I believe, right? I believe it's all the different currencies around the world. I have a lot of buddies that don't mess with crypto and they mess with Forex. That's their forte. But they're always asking me like, how's crypto doing? And I give them my opinion and stuff like that. But I do watch, the Japanese yen, I think it's called, right? And I do watch a lot of the other currencies on Forex. But me personally, I don't have the knowledge there, right? I put all my knowledge into crypto, and I do watch stocks a lot too. I do watch stocks, but I'm 100% interested in crypto. But I do appreciate someone like yourself, Ben, that that's not involved with crypto, but at least monitors, and you at least get the gist of what's going on with crypto. And I think that's what smart investors do, right? They don't want to just sit there and just I do Forex. I don't like crypto. I hate people that sit there and talk trash on other things, like, or people that are in crypto and hate stocks. Even though I understand stocks are, like, for me, I feel like stocks are more of the older crowd. For the most part, it's usually the older crowds that do not want to be involved in crypto, and they just want to stay in stocks because they don't understand crypto. You're right, and it's so hard to explain it to them because they're like, "Well, it's not physically there." And I'm like, "When you're buying stocks, you're not physically having them." But they'll give you the argument, "Oh, well, yeah, but I'm owning an ownership of that company and stuff like that." And I'm just like, "Bro, I'm not getting into it anymore." I'm like, "Do your own research, right? Just here's my channel. Go ahead and watch the channel, man. That's all I can say, right?" No, but I respect that, Ben, definitely. So Sean's saying, I've been holding 2 billion Lady since May, and stacking my stacking goal is 100 billion. That's a respectable goal right there, is 100 billion, right? Imagine, you should do the math on your whenever you have some free time, and just look to see how much a billion coins is going to be if we get up to like a $10 billion market cap, right? If we get up to maybe if we ever get up to like where Shiba's was at like $40 billion, looking to see how much that would be worth then, right? That would be even more motivational for you to really get to that goal that you have of 100 billion, right? So it looks like we're trying to form a green candle right here at the 9-3 that we've been watching. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Obviously, with the volume being so low at only $10 million for a 24-hour period, we're not going to see these fast candles form, right? You're going to see just slow movement right now because there's just not a lot of money going out, and there's not a lot of money coming in. So it's going to take some time. I think in the next few days is when it's going to play out to where we can really see exactly if we're going to bounce right here, or if we're going to break this pivotal spot and possibly go down to where the next spot of support, somewhere around that 8-1 mark. So Craig was saying he's got tunnel vision for crypto, right? I understand, right? It's like you really just kind of just scoped him on the crypto market, which I feel like if you're going to master something, if you're involved in, like, that's why you see people that are in Forex are only in Forex, right? Or usually, right? Not all the time. Some people have the gift of just being in multiple things and really having that knowledge all across the board. But you'll see most people, they want to just focus on one thing, right? If it's stocks, if it's crypto, if it's Forex, if it's commodities, whatever the case is, that's what they want to focus on. And I think for most people that works a lot better because, one thing about any of your investments is you want to map out your investments. You want to get familiar with them so you know what's a good price and what's not a good price, right? Just someone just telling you about something and you just jumping in. You don't even know if you're buying in at the top, the bottom. You don't know when you're buying, if it's a good time. So it's always good to really master your craft and really scope in on what you're investing, either you're already invested in or what you're going to be interested in investing. You don't want to just get that FOMO and just buy in on something because someone told you about it, right? So look up Neon EVM. Let's check it out. Oh, nice. This thing is definitely rallying up. So this thing's been out for, this past year. It's a fairly new project, but this thing is definitely broke out for sure. Let's see here. You can see off this very brief, but it looks like it has formed some support and resistance. It made a local high right here at the $1.50 mark, and it did have a cool off, but you can see that green candle forming right after it, somewhere around the $1.30. If I was looking right now, not financial advice, but if I was just looking at it right now and, looking interested, I would be very cautious buying in. I'd be very cautious just because this thing has, obviously gone for a rally, higher risk, higher gains. But when I see something that's up 2,600%, I'm very cautious. I'm going to be very cautious on, buying in where it's at right now, because there's a higher chance that you're buying in at a high price, right? So you want to be very cautious as far as buying in right now. Obviously, I'm not giving out any financial advice, but if you can have some patience, maybe waiting for it to break that dollar mark might be a little bit of a better spot for you to you either buy in and get into the project or accumulate. But just be very careful, because like I said, it being at $1.50 as the local high, and it only being at $1.30 right now, it could be setting up for another run. But I would say a higher chance where it could possibly be cooling off now, finding some support probably would be somewhere around this 382 at around right under $1. Most likely that dollar to about 95 cents is going to be a pivotal spot that it might hold and maybe bounce and possibly get up towards that local high, if not breaking it. So just be careful out there. This is a fairly new project, and you can see this thing was like just came out of the dead, and it's shot up 2,500%. So a lot of people are probably have been buying in or holding, and they're most likely looking to sell because they are up very, very much on their projects. So just be careful out there. So IODEX, let's see here. This was another project that I bought in when it first came out, and it did that Coinbase effect in 2021, and I was able to buy in and sell off at a quick gain. Let's see here. So this thing looks great. This project's been out for a while now, because you can see that it's formed not only the 200 day, but this right here is the 200 week. So this project's been out for fairly about 4 years. So this is a more established project, right? You can, not that, it's the wrong thing. So if we're going to draw a fib, we'll draw one right here and say that we did make a local high at around 5 cents, about 5.5. Well, actually, let me see here. At about a little over 5.5 cents, 5.7 cents. We are currently sitting right under that 5 cent mark. It does look very bullish because it is sitting above its 200 day and 200 week. If you're looking for a spot to maybe look for some support and possibly add to your bag, or if you're going to be buying in on the project, obviously this 382 you can see was a pivotal spot that was a spot of rejection, pretty much. They got rejected, but it also flipped over to some support. So maybe looking at that 4 cent mark at the 382 would be a pivotal spot if you can have some patience, maybe to start accumulating. Other than that, I would say right now we don't know exactly what the markets are going to give to us. This thing is up 230%, so just be cautious. Maybe waiting to see if it can maybe retest the 200 week at somewhere around the 3.5 cent mark would be more of a move, as far as, getting those gains. But I don't know, maybe they could have released some news that they're teaming up with something that I don't know, and they could be setting up for another run, right? You never know. But it's not far from its local high. It really is not. So just be very cautious. A lot of these projects, I'm kind of saying the same thing if they all look around the same. It's just be careful, because you do not want to buy in. Why is this not mapping out? You don't want to buy in and then possibly you're holding on, because right now this thing's only about 15-20% away from this local high. So, it could be forming a green candle right now and maybe going to possibly retest up here. But it could be setting up to where, like I said, it needs to find some better spots for support before it will shoot off. So patience, everyone, right? Listen, guys, I'm going to leave it there. We had a great stream tonight. I appreciate everybody coming in. If you haven't already, before you leave, please hit that like. If you haven't already, even people like Ben that aren't invested in crypto, for the knowledge, hit the subscribe. We have been coming out every evening with the live, and also we do put out videos, multiple videos as far as favorite projects and other projects that are coming out that are doing well. So make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. I thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow evening, all right? Thank you again.